the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. e5 is a common response that establishes a presence in the center, controls d4, and opens up the queen and dark-squared bishop. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e5 pawn and prepares to castle. Knight c6 develops the knight toward the center, protects the pawn on e5, and eyes the d4 square. The Ruy Lopez opening develops the bishop to immediately attack the knight on c6, the lone defender of the e5 pawn. a6 forces the bishop to decide, exchange or retreat. Bishop a4 safely retreats the bishop while keeping pressure on the knight. Knight f6 attacks the undefended e4 pawn and develops the knight at the same time. Castling gets the king out of the center and prepares to develop the rook to e1. Bishop e7 develops the dark-squared bishop and prepares to castle. Rook e1 centralizes the rook and protects the e4 pawn. b5 gains space on the queen side and forces the bishop to the b3 square. Bishop b3 is forced, but the castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. c3 prepares the d4 pawn push, opens up the c2 square for the bishop, and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. d6 supports the e5 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. d4 takes space in the center, attacks the e5 pawn and allows the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bishop g4 develops the bishop and pins the knight on f3, developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. They exchange pieces of equal value. A clear recapture. They are threatening to tactically win a pawn. You stopped your opponent from being able to tactically win a pawn. They are striking at the center to fight for space. You kicked your opponent's piece from that square. They move the bishop to safety. You are bringing your knight into play. This move gives you the opportunity to win their knight. This wins a knight. Moving their threatened knight to safety. Your better option was to tactically win a knight. They created loft, ensuring their king has a safe square if needed. Your best move was to kick a bishop. This move connects their rooks, giving them a stronger position to work together. You're kicking their bishop out of a useful square. This is a fair trade. You recaptured the piece, moving their threatened bishop to safety. Your best move was to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. Decent move, but they had a better one. You found the move that blocks the attacker. You are forced to double pawns. You take back. The game was fairly balanced, but now your opponent's position has worsened. The game is still close to equal, but you lost your advantage. They are threatening to pin a pawn. Good job. That's what I would have played too. You had a chance to play something better. They attacked your rook. Your best move was to move a rook to safety. It was an even game, but now you lost your advantage and now the position is balanced. This move protects their pawn, which was vulnerable with insufficient defenders. Your pawn is undefended, so this move loses material. Their better move was to create a passed pawn. Your best move was to move a piece to safety. There was just one move that worked for them, and this wasn't it. That was a fair trade. A straightforward recapture. Precise move from your opponent. That square is great for your rook. You are now able to play a stunning move, ignoring the threat on the rook. Ignoring the danger to your rook was a tough but ingenious choice. They stopped your attack by interposing a piece to protect their pawn. For sure you had to move away from the threat. They've improved the positioning of their bishop. That was an even swap of material. A clear recapture. This move lost the advantage and now you stand equal. They played the strongest move available. You are threatening to win material through a tactic. They are threatening to create a passed pawn. You captured a free pawn. You are threatening to checkmate the king. This is the only move that works. Your opponent blocked the attack on their pawn, keeping it safe. Good job stepping in to defend your bishop. They are right on target. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. Their best option was to move a queen to safety. You trade off equal material. A straightforward recapture. The only move and you found it. They are threatening to win a bishop by adding pressure to a pinned piece. A good choice to move your threatened pawn. Precise move from your opponent. Good job defending that pawn. Your opponent had only one good move there and they missed it. You are now able to take an open file with a rook. Oops, you gave up a pawn. Capturing your hanging pawn. Good job stepping in to defend your pawn. Their better move was to activate the king by getting it off of the back rank. Your better option was to push a passed pawn. They played the strongest move available. You moved the bishop to a better square. They exchange pieces of equal value. You are threatening to win material through an eventual pin. You are now able to win material through an eventual pin. Your better option was to win material through an eventual pin. The game was fairly balanced, but now your opponent's position has worsened. You are threatening to win a bishop by pinning a piece to the king. They did not find the right idea. You only had one good option there. This is the only good move. A logical capture. This is the only move that works. You had a better option, but this is not bad. They exchange pieces of equal value. You recaptured. Their king is now leaving the back rank to become a king. With that move, you offer to trade pieces. They are right on target. You step your king away from the checking knight. They've made a mistake and their knight is now lost. This is the way to win a knight. Precise move from your... There was only one good move and you found it. They found a clean way to deal with your passed pawn. This moves your bishop to a safer square. They played the strongest move available. You dodged the check, moving your king out of harm's way. They are threatening to kick a bishop. You had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. This move puts their rook on a safer square. Nice. Definitely the right move. They missed a better way to evade the check from the opposing rook. The game is still close to equal, but you lost your advantage. That's playable. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. It was an even game, but now you have the advantage. Yes, this is the way. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. Well done, an excellent move. They made one of the top moves in this position. Not the best move, but not bad either. This move doesn't help their position at all. You had a better option, but this is not bad. They are right on target. Very good choice. Decent move, but they had a better one. This move doesn't hurt you much, but it doesn't help either. They slipped up a bit here. Not the worst move, but definitely not the best. This move makes your bishop much more effective. That's playable. You step your king away from the checking rook. They move the rook to safety. You lost your advantage, and now the position is balanced. Precise move. You escape the check from the rook. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. They did not find the right idea. This isn't a mistake, but there was something better for you. This move doesn't help their position at all. Your bishop has more scope from this square. They played the strongest move available. You dodged the check, moving your king out of harm's way. They played one of the best moves here. Your pawn is no longer hanging and is now defended. Decent move, but they had a better one. You had a chance to play something better. That's playable. You step your king away from the checking rook. They slipped up a bit here. Not the worst move, but definitely not the best. Good job. That's what I would have played too. There was just one move that worked for them, and this wasn't it. You missed the only move in a critical position. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. Your better option was to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. They moved their king out of the check from your rook. Nice. Definitely the right move. This is the only good move. You escaped the check from the rook. Decent move, but they had a better one. Not the best move, but not bad either. This is the only move that works. That is a great square for your bishop, giving it more scope. This move puts their rook on a safer square. You had a better option, but this is not bad. That's playable. You move your bishop to a better place, allowing it to control more squares. I like their choice. They made one of the top moves in this position. Yes, this is the way. This is the only good move. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. They moved the rook to safety. You moved the bishop to a better square. They are right on target. Not the best move, but not bad either. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move here. You had a better option, but this is not bad. Decent move, but they had a better one. This move cuts off the check from the rook, keeping your... They played one of the best moves here. This is a fine move. That's playable. You shield your king by blocking the check from the rook. I like their choice. This move is okay, but not what I would have played. That's not a mistake, but they did not find the best move. Not the best move, but not bad either. Precise move from your opponent. You had a better option, but this is not bad. Decent move, but they had a better one. This move is okay, but not what I... That's playable. You dodged the check. They played the strongest move available. Well done, an excellent... That's not a mistake. You step your king away from... This move puts their rook on... Good job. They are right on target. Very good choice. They made one of the top moves in this position. This is a fine move. This is the only move that works. Well done, an excellent move. They played one of the... Very good choice. This is the only good... Nice. Definitely the right move. They prevented you from being able to checkmate the king. You dodged the check, moving your king. This is the only move that works. This move doesn't hurt you much, but it doesn't help either. Decent move, but you step your king away from the checking rook. They took your pawn for free. Good job. That's what I would have played too. I like their choice. They found a way to win your bishop. You captured that free pawn. This is the only good move. You step your king away from the checking rook. This is the only move that works. This is a fine move. The game was fairly balanced, but now there was only one good move there for you, but you overlooked it. It was an even game, but now you have the advantage. That's quite an error. Now's your chance to capitalize on it. "50 moves with no pawn moves or captures make this a draw.